Today I want to talk about something called the dead internet theory. A disturbing and unsettling yet entirely plausible theory that gives me that awful sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Thank you.
The kind of feeling you get when you know someone is lying to your face. The kind of feeling you get when you connect two formerly unconnected points in your mind, and their newfound connection gives you chills because you didn't want to believe it, but the truth is too obvious to ignore now. This theory adds a deep-seated gut feeling to what many of you have experienced for years and years, but have been unable to put into words. The feeling that something is deeply wrong online, but you can't put your finger on what or why. Many people seem to have pieces and fragments, but no one seems to have figured everything out. Once I explain all of this, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be feeling these exact thoughts. So, I'm sorry if I break any worldviews with this video. It honestly isn't my intention. I, like so many others, just want the truth. So let's get right into the dead internet theory. Most of the internet is fake. This theory is a collection of a lot of ideas from many people, but credit must be given to Illuminati Pirate for bringing together so much of this information into a single thread. I'm going to discuss a lot of what he says, as well as pull a ton of information from a variety of sources and comments from all over the web. The simple explanation for the dead internet theory is that the vast majority of the internet is actually generated by artificial intelligence, in conjunction with paid media influencers in order to manufacture consumers for an increasingly wider range of newly normalized products, as well as to dramatically sway public opinion and control the collective attitude or outlook of people or culture. For all of the younger people out there who didn't experience the internet as it used to be, the internet of today is vastly different. Before the advent of the internet-connected cell phone, or the mass adoption of the home computer, before social media even existed, the internet was a place where people came to express passion, hobbies, feelings, and thoughts. It wasn't filtered, or selectively shown to you based on what an algorithm thinks you want to hear. It also wasn't an echo chamber to reinforce your pre-existing beliefs, whatever they may be. It wasn't created to keep you locked into a website or an app for hours and hours every single day. The internet was a collection of human thought, both right and wrong, and what you found and enjoyed was up to you. It wasn't monetized. The point of it wasn't to get as many clicks as possible or to keep you engaged for as long as possible. It just was. The internet was whatever you made it. One doesn't realize that they're living in the Wild West until that wild is taken away from them. Just as such, most of us didn't realize that the freedom of expression of the old internet that we all enjoyed would someday disappear. But here we are. Only now, in its awful absence, do we realize how bad things have gotten. Like I said earlier, a lot of people have had this sinking feeling in their gut for a while, but they didn't understand or realize why. The fact is, there is a massive and incomplete puzzle here. Some of us have a piece or two, but none of us have all the pieces, and anyone that claims otherwise, I wouldn't trust them. This incomplete puzzle connects us all, so it's in our best interest to try to find as many pieces as possible. These days, the internet feels so empty and devoid of people. Have you ever noticed that? Truly hear me out here. The internet feels devoid of content. It's safe, sterile, bland. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, see, or read. There are no experiences anymore. It's a collection of 10 or so websites or apps that everyone visits over and over again until they go to sleep, only to do it again the next day. It's a series of empty husks.
So then there are things to do.
The internet seems gigantic, but it's more like a hot air balloon, because there's nothing inside. The same repeated threads and pictures and similar replies reposted over and over again across the years, to the point that it's unremarkable anymore. All of your friends enjoying the same funny video as you, the same talking point shared repeatedly over and over online, or how every day something new is trending, so you better jump in and give your take on it. Every day, it's something, so the conversation can never linger too long. There's always the next new or shocking or unusual thing everyone is talking about. I'm sure everyone watching this has heard of a news story that sounds like the one that they've heard 1,000 times before, but this time it's new and shocking and unusual. It boggles the brain. For example, how many times have we heard something about a new type of moon only happening tonight or tomorrow? A blue moon, a blood moon, a super flower blood moon, a pink moon, a super pink moon, a hunter's moon, a snow moon. You get the point. Why does everything feel so fake and manufactured? It's always the same thing or a slightly different thing repeated over and over as if it's produced content made to distract and occupy your mind.
Like conspiracy
Why
theories.
get out there and march in the streets to demand better wages or safer working conditions after a grueling day of work when you can go home and saturate your mind on endless, mindless escapism? The new super glitter moon is happening tonight, and Jimmy Kimmel just said something that is hilarious, and Dr. Seuss books are changing. Aren't you mad? And have you seen the new Marvel trailer? Don't step back.
I haven't
Don't
seen
stop
the movie.
to think.
Is it
Keep
good?
engaged. Keep scrolling. Keep buying. Keep wasting your time. Keep pointlessly arguing with bots online made to offend you to spark unending engagement. Do you like superheroes? How
Yes.
about Hollywood drama? New music? The algorithm is here to feed you an endless supply of content based on
It was
what it
trash.
assumes you want. Have any of you noticed how sterile fiction has become? How it caters to the lowest common denominator and follows the same template over and over again? How music is the same bland, seemingly created in a lab
When's the
song
new Spider-Man?
over and over
Isn't it
again?
soon?
There is a reason for all of this.
That's gonna be bad
Algorithms
shit.
and computer programs have been manufacturing content now for at least a decade that we know of. It's the Wizard of Oz
16.
mindset.
That's my
Once
birthday.
you take a step back and the curtain has been pulled and you see it for what it really is, you can't go back to the way you used to think. It's like knowing Santa isn't real. No matter what you do, you can't make it real anymore. An interesting detail that Illuminati Pirate brought up was anime, and I'm going to include manga as well, and why it's so popular and beloved today. The reason why is because it is such a complex and passion-driven art form. More often than not, the art and story in manga are all created by one person on a weekly basis. There are actual humans behind this content, and because of that, it's so much more enjoyable than so much of the generic computer-created nonsense that is shoved in our faces today. Something intuitively inside of us recognizes that. So side note, watch a really good anime if you haven't. You'll know right off the bat how different it feels compared to anything else on TV. It's got heart and soul and purpose. But let's go deeper into the internet side of things. Let's talk about YouTube. For the younger people watching this, YouTube used to honestly be about expressing yourself. It was random people in front of a camera talking about how they felt or what they've experienced. It was real, it was organic, it wasn't about trends. Nowadays, if you talk about the wrong thing, your video gets demonetized. If you say the wrong thing, your video gets removed. You can speak freely as long as you're okay with being suppressed in the algorithm.
Yeah, of
and
course
no
it
one sees
wasn't
your
about money
content.
because no one was
There was a
earning money.
reason was realizing that fact. It's all
I
fake.
fucking fucked up.
Say the right things and push the right. You can speak freely as long as you're okay with being suppressed in the algorithm and no one sees your content. The views, the clicks, the growth on YouTube, it's all nonsense. I did YouTube for 7 years before I got as big as I am today, and it's completely artificial. That's what blew my mind.
7 years? You think that was the old YouTube? 2014 or whatever? You think that was the fucking old YouTube?
That was the difference between me not succeeding and succeeding, was realizing that fact. It's all fake. Say the right things and push the right content and you'll succeed. You go with the way the wind is blowing. But if you stand in the face of that wind, you'll be standing there alone with 20 views. And this is not me complaining. These are objective facts. Look at almost any channel you subscribe to.
So basically, he's saying that this whole video is just pushing the narrative. That's the only way to succeed. Okay. So he doesn't actually believe it.
If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and a comment of what you want to see next.